I just got off a call with a client and I wanted to share an experience that they had or a realization that they had because I think this is so, so powerful. So often the way that we relate to ourselves or our humanity, as I would describe it, which is just our fears, our insecurities, our anxieties, is we tend to think of how can I fix this? How can I get rid of it? You know, we have a very kind of negative connotation to it where we think I need to somehow get over this, or I need to get rid of this, or I don't like this part of me and I don't want it anymore. And basically what he shared is he said, I realized that anxiety is just a part of me, right? Like he, at this point in his life, he has anxiety and he faces it when, you know, in different various situations in his life. And he recognized that, okay, I have anxiety. And so I just have to kind of be with it. And I was just like, yes, like you're getting it. This is exactly how we heal, transform, alchemize experiences in states of being that we find challenging or painful or just hard. These are the aspects that we think, oh, I want to get rid of this because it's making me feel uncomfortable. We don't get rid of them. We alchemize them. We take care of them. You know, it's not walking away from this thing or pushing it away from us. It's actually walking towards it and into it and going, okay, at this point in my life, like I'm feeling anxiety around things. How can I be with it so that I give it my presence, my loving attention, and I, through that presence and loving attention, I make it feel safe. Because then what happens is it isn't that all of a sudden the anxiety just disappears, but it lessens. It's not as anxious. It's not as potent because you're there with it. You're not self-abandoning. You're not rejecting. You're not denying. You're not ignoring. You're not numbing. You're actually there with it. And by the simple act of being present with it, like think of it as a child. Like a child doesn't want to be alone with their fear or their anxiety or their confusion. They want like you to be there to hold them in your lap. And then they're like, okay, I might still feel a bit scared, but I'm not alone with it. So, you know, I remember how I could relate this to my own process is I used to be very kind of judgmental of myself where I would get really stressed out about things. And I'd be like, oh, Corinne, why do you get so stressed out? You know, I don't like this about myself. Other people look so chilled. You know, why do I have to get so stressed out? And then I learned more about myself and I realized that I'm an HSP and, you know, my nervous system is wired in a different way where I can be I'm very sensitive and attuned to things around me, which makes me also have a greater ability to be empathic because I can feel into things, and that's all wonderful. It makes me, I think, a good coach. You know, I think I do my job well because of that. And however, what it means is I have to take care of the part that gets easily overwhelmed, which therefore gets easily stressed. And so I no longer see it as something that it's like, oh God, I want to get rid of this part of myself. I hate this part of me. It's so annoying. I don't like it. I just recognize I know now how to take care of it. And because I know how to take care of it, I get stressed out a lot less, right? I think I used to get stressed out a lot more because it was like I wasn't taking care of it. I don't want to say dealing with it, but I just wasn't being with it. And so it constantly felt not only stressed and anxious and scared or whatever came with it, but it was totally alone, right? That part of me was totally alone. So I just thought it was such a beautiful realization. And I'm so like, when clients have these realizations, I'm like, yes, like this is the work, is that this isn't something to be ashamed of within you. This is something that just, as I've said a million times, it just needs your loving presence. So you recognize, how do I take care of myself when I feel anxious? How do I take care of myself when anger arises? How do I take care of myself when I dip into a phase of depression? You know, all of these things are just trying to get our attention, and they're requiring us to just be curious and very kind and gentle and patient with ourselves. There's nothing about our humanity that we should be ashamed of. If anything, we should just be incredibly compassionate and kind towards ourselves. And like, yeah, this is something we need to learn because we haven't learned that. We haven't been taught that, unfortunately. So we're learning it on as we go, right? It's the on the job kind of learning. So I just wanted to share that, because it's like, take yourself with you. Take your fear with you. Take your anxiety with you. I don't mean that it gets to run you. I mean that you don't abandon it. You take it by the hand, you support it, you love it, and watch how it changes. Watch how it transforms. Watch how it softens the more love you give to it. Don't toughen your way through it. Don't grit your teeth. Don't force yourself. Don't push yourself. Don't override it. Don't transcend it. Be with it, with love, and watch it transform. Food for thought. Take it or leave it. As always, just wanted to share that with you, and loving you from afar. Bye.